The best of the morning to you. This is Monday with Friday, preparing you for a better week ahead. Before I continue the leader checklist I began 3 episodes ago, I think it's helpful to introduce you to a continuum of 7 bad leader types as offered a few years back by Barbara Kellerman, a leadership scholar and author, and professor of public leadership at Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. Beginning the continuum with incompetent leaders and ending with evil leaders, Kellerman notes that in every case, the leader, the bad leader that is, as well as at least some, perhaps even most or all of the organization's members, also possess the bad trait she explores. Here is Kellerman's list. 1. Some leaders are incompetent. They may be unequal to the technical, intellectual, or procedural requirements for effectively executing what is required of them. And some key supporters may themselves be technically, intellectually, or procedurally clueless about what to expect from this kind of leader, and failing to notice the badness of their leader, may even evaluate them as good, extend their contract, and even give them a raise. I have seen that kind of leader in schools, police administrations, churches, and we have seen them in government. 2. Some bad leaders are rigid. They are inflexible, unwilling to embrace new ideas or perspectives, especially from whom they might consider unlikely sources. Such leaders might actually be competent, but their unwillingness to adapt or to change or to explore fresh and uncharted approaches to their goals or to welcome new paradigms makes them ultimately bad leaders. That's what happened to Ford Motor Company and to their bottom line back in the 1970s due to the fact that they possessed rigid leaders while Toyota had more flexible leaders and they beat them at the marketplace. It might also be what happened to Kodak, the camera people, who did not see change coming and adapt. 3. Some bad leaders are intemperate. They might otherwise be competent, but being ill-tempered, attitudinally challenged, or lacking in respect for others, lacking in social and relational skills, they make bad leaders, and they derail any good they might otherwise accomplish. The intemperate leader lacks emotional intelligence and self-control, and some followers either encourage this or fail to curb it. 4. Some bad leaders are callous, caring only about themselves, their benefits, and nothing for the members of their community. They fail to evaluate the precious value of human capital and the indispensability of human partnerships. They operate in ways that bring benefit to their own selves and to the chosen few bad supporters, even when those choices either endanger or impoverish the wider community, robbing them of the benefits they also deserve to share that the callous leader and some of the members hoard for themselves. 5. Some bad leaders are corrupt, using deception, duplicity, and depravity as regular measures in their approach to leading. Kellerman says that they lie, cheat, and steal. Now, lying in particular appears to be viewed even in religious circles nowadays as acceptable. It already appears to be the way that some politicians get ahead, and some illegal police practices appear to survive because of lying and cheating. In America, one political party, the one that has loved to claim that it is the party of family and faith values, is publicly and barefacedly cheating in various ways to grab power, to rig the voting system, and to nullify legitimate votes and voters. 6. Some bad leaders are insular. Like the callous leader at number 4, They look out for themselves rather than their constituents. But insular leaders do something even worse. Kellerman says they, quote, minimize or disregard the health and welfare of others, unquote. In other words, the insular leader can literally cause members of their organization to slip into failing health, to encounter personal loss, and a severely reduced quality of life. They cause some of their members to slip into depression, and one or two have been known to commit suicide because of the unhealthy, toxic environment that insular leaders create. And finally, 7, some bad leaders are evil. This kind of leader, often egged on or supported by some supporters, commit atrocities using threat, fear, and pain, whether emotional, mental, or even physical, as an instrument of power and leadership. Kellerman notes that the harm they do to men, women, and children is severe, not slight. It might be placing humans in gas chambers, or separating asylum-seeking family members on America's southern border, not unlike what white enslavers did to the black humans they enslaved. Now, some bad leaders operate in more than one of these 7 modes. When incompetence, intemperance, callousness, corruption, insularity, and evil all meet in the same leader or leaders, events such as happened in Washington, D.C. on January 6th might only be the beginning. But folks, you have the power, along with others, to avoid or correct bad leaders, whether in some small group or in your whole nation. But you must guard within your own self against the various forms of badness that consume the very leaders you either are now contending with or are about to elect. And understand this: the longer you take to address the leader badness, the costlier it would be to execute it. I am Michael Friday, and your week just got better. I'll see you again next week. Happy Monday, all the way to Friday.